Hey, check out this new technology we have. You won't believe it. Yo, JD, show the boys that trick that you do.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. I just got to be real with you all. If you follow this channel, I believe in UFOs, whatever you want to call them. I believe in interdimensional, intergalactic, whatever you want, species. I got it, okay? I'm down. I've seen enough evidence. I've seen enough videos. I've heard enough firsthand testimony. I've had enough members of Congress on. I've heard enough stories over my own dinner table with members of the military. I live in a big military community, big Air Force community. Here, MacDill Air Force Base is right down the street from where I live. So I got those guys over at my house. They are telling me what they've seen. They are telling me that no whiskey involved, no booze involved. They're like straight up saying, we've seen these things. They make no sense. We're fighting F-22 Raptors. We're flying the most sophisticated aircraft in the world. You can't make them better than the U.S. military, and these things are clowning on us. Little red triangles, little red tic tacs. They literally, they come right up to the planes, then they zoom off and they go under the water. It's crazy. What are they? I don't know. Are they? Yes, they are. They're real. And there's enough physical evidence to just accept that reality. So what does that mean for our leaders? You know, my contention is when you see all of the UFO news that's coming out right now, and it's just like a constant series of articles. I mean, look at all these. Just constant articles talking about like new UFO discovery, new sighting. I've never seen news cycles like this, right, with UFOs. It's like a UFO super cycle. Thousands of new reports all the time. Still don't know what the hell with the drones over New Jersey. The point is that eventually our leaders are going to have to come to terms with all of this. And it looks like JD Vance is doing that. And to his great respect, actually. JD Vance is saying something that I think is a really logical contention here. That a considerable portion of the UFOs, some of them may be drones, some of them may be foreign adversaries, but a considerable portion of them may be spiritual in nature. There's no other way to explain, in our laws of physics, the way that these things move. There's no way to explain it. You just can't, right? And I don't pretend to be the world's expert, but you can't. JD Vance making a bunch of news right here, ladies and gentlemen, saying, I don't know, these things are probably spiritual in nature.
One last question about UFOs. So I'm a mad UFO lunatic
Me
as
too.
well.
Yeah.
So, and you said, I think the Ruthless podcast that you were going to, in August, you were going to figure out what happened. So have you
That was a little
managed?
tongue in cheek. I have not figured it out yet. I haven't had the time to figure it out yet.
But you've got access to all this.
I do.
Classified.
And I really want to sort of dig into it. You know, Marco's actually very interested in this too. We talked about this talked about this back in our Senate days. So yeah, there's certainly an interest there. There's certainly an intrigue, but I haven't yet had the time to really dig in. Things have been so busy, but this is the crazy person inside of me. And there's, you know, all of us put the tinfoil hat on from time to time. I was like, I can't allow myself to become so busy that I spend the next 3 years and I don't get to the bottom of this. So I will get to the bottom of this, but it's going to take me a little time.
Because Tulsi Gabbard says that she believes there are aliens. Do you believe that?
You know, I don't, it's interesting. I wouldn't say that I do or don't believe it. I mean, I'm a big believer that there are things out there that we can't explain. And so if another person sees an alien, maybe I see an angel or a demon. So I'm a big believer that there are like spiritual forces working on the physical world that a lot of us don't see and a lot of us don't understand and a lot of us don't appreciate. But, you know, is it aliens or is it our guardian angel, or is it aliens, or is it a not so guardian force that doesn't care about us, or in fact actively wishes us harm? I don't know the answer to that question. What I try to do is I try to say my prayers. I try to be as good of a person as I can be, and I try to do a good job. And hopefully that's all I need to do.
You know, that answer's gone worldwide. It's the first time anyone has been like kind of honest with us. Now, why is it dangerous to be honest about a situation like this? Because it means the government doesn't have full control. But if you're a Christian, if you are a believer, even if you're just like a deist, even if you just believe in God and believe in like the supernatural, then you already know that the government doesn't have full control. All of it is an illusion. All of it is a facade. It's a fake, fugazi. And it's best to just like actually believe in the full authority of God and to not believe in, AOC, Kamala Harris, right? Like Joe Biden. You think Joe Biden was actually running the country or the universe or even his own bedpan? No, dude. It's actually easier and it's more logical to just say, there have been principalities, there have been spirits, angels, demons, fallen angels, everything, cast down in different dimensions, which I guess would be heaven and hell, right? Anyway, the point is, Tucker's really close with JD, and it kind of really reflects what Tucker, the way that Tucker responds to these things. He was asked a question about UFOs just last week at a Turning Point event.
This is something not political, but I think you like talking about it. Are aliens a religious or extraterrestrial subject?
They're spiritual entities.
They're spiritual beings?
Is my view, yes. Okay. And I don't think they're from another planet. I don't think there's any evidence of that, or perhaps they are, but they've been resident here for recorded history, and there's every reason to believe for eternity. And this is my belief, and I think there's a lot there. There's also a lot of lying about it and official disinformation designed to confuse people or make you look ridiculous. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that you read about that subject that was put there in order to get you off the trail. And I'm not guessing at this. Some of it's been declassified. There's been a persistent 75-year effort by the United States government to confuse the population about what these things are that we can see in the sky. And many people have seen. But after looking into it, pretty extensively for a number of years, off camera, my conclusion is that they are the spiritual entities that are described, in the Old Testament, in Ezekiel, but also, I would say, in the sacred texts of all kinds of religions around the world. This is not, basically, I'll stop at this, but our culture is anomalous in the sense that we exclude the possibility of a spiritual realm. And that's only been true in the United States since August of 1945 when we dropped the atom bomb, which was the turning point in history, in my opinion. And it was the beginning of the total destruction of the West, which unfortunately we're witnessing now. And that destruction began with, the same lie that begins all destruction, which is I am God. Hubris is the end, always. It was the point of the Tower of Babel. It's the end of every leader. Every leader who's like, I'm very powerful, I have godlike powers, that leader will be destroyed. And a nation that believes that will be destroyed. And the atom bomb gave us the sense, very false sense, that we had absolute power, dominion over nature and mankind itself. And we started making a lot of really bad decisions. And one of the results of that was faith died in the United States. It's resurging now, thank God, literally. But for my whole childhood, I was born in 1969, the year that we walked on the moon. And just kidding, sort of, maybe. I don't no idea. I'm not going to find out. I'm not going to find out. I've got enough problems. I don't want to know. But anyway, the point is, I was born that year, and for my entire life up until recently, no one I knew in my world, which is coastal, affluent, well-educated, not that I'm well-educated, but everyone else around me is, no one ever talked about God at dinner. That was the spiritual realm was kind of a joke that is kind of a trailer park belief or who knows what. They're handling snakes. They make TV shows about no one believed that. And when you don't believe that, you kind of miss everything because it is real, whether you want it to be or not. That's literally real. It's absolutely real. It's as real as this podium. And so to someone living even 100 years ago, the idea that these are, of course, angels, demons, they're manifestations of the spiritual battle ongoing since the beginning of time, that would have been obvious. And instead we're maybe they flew in rocket ships from Mars. Do we have a telescope powerful enough to detect that? Oh, shut up. You're missing the obvious, dude. So.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So what do you think? Let me know in the comment section. I love reading the comments on these UFO ones. I just think it's neat to hear our leaders talk so honestly about this subject and say, actually, you know what? I'm JD Vance. I might be president someday. I don't even know. The answer is there's no explanation for them. And that's okay because I'm a Christian, right? And then you live a life of faith, right? Don't we all? It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what